Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Long Point Region Source Protection Authority meeting this Wednesday, April the 5th. And I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are there any additional agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on. Is there any disclosure conflict of interest? Seeing none, then I have a motion that the minutes of the Long Point Region Source Protection Authority held April the 6th, 2022 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Robert and Peter. Is there any discussion? Is there any omissions or errors or corrections required? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Those in favor? That's carried. So business arising, there is none. Correspondence is the Lake Erie Region Source Protection Committee annual progress reporting. Attachments referred to in this correspondence are included with the report at agenda item 7A. So I have a motion that the correspondence outlined in the Source Protection Authority agenda on April 5th be received as information. Mover? Yes. Mover. Oh, mover and reigning seconder. Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? You all read the letter? Those in favor? That's carried. Then we go to number 7, which is a new business. And that is hang on a minute. Judy, you're going to speak.
Mr. Chair, actually, David Bracke.
Okay,
Will be taking us through that report.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here to present the annual progress report for 2022. For our new members, I'll just give a quick summary of the role of the Source Protection Authority. The Lake Erie Source Protection Region is one of 19 regions within Ontario created.
Is your speaker on?
Is it turned on, David?
There.
Sounds like.
No? Yep. Okay, good. Okay. The Lake Erie Region Source Protection Region is one of 19 regions within Ontario created to carry out drinking water source protection planning under the Clean Water Act. The Lake Erie region contains 4 separate source protection areas, which are Catfish Creek, Grand River, Kettle Creek, and the Long Point region. All 4 of these authorities are required yearly to submit an annual progress report and supplemental form to the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks. This year's report reflects the progress of the source protection plan from January 1st to December 31st, 2022, and includes information from the supplemental form. This year's report indicates that 63% of the 705 significant drinking water threats identified in the area have been addressed, which is an improvement compared to the 2021 annual reporting period, which was 60%. The report highlights the progress on implementing the legally binding plan policies that address significant drinking water threats, which are 98% either implemented, in progress, or implemented because policy outcomes were evaluated and no specific further action was required. The report also mentions that addressing risks on the ground, as well as septic inspections, are progressing well and are on target. It states that risk management plans have also progressed well, but are short of target due to the increasing number of threats identified through source protection plan amendments, along with limited staff resources and COVID-19 public health measures in 2020 and 2021 that have delayed their development. Overall, the Lake Erie Region Source Protection Committee has passed a resolution that the plan is progressing well and on target towards achieving its objectives. Long Point Region Source Protection Authority has the responsibility to submit the 2022 Long Point Region Annual Report and supplemental form to the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Any questions for David? Yes, Doug.
What do you consider a threat? You said they've all been taken care of, basically, right?
Yeah, so it's with anything that can affect the groundwater quality of within the impact protection zone of a well. So there's like, for example, like any agricultural activities that are happening in the area. They have to be monitored and regulated so that, for example, like like in the Clean Water Act, it has a list basically of all the different items that are considered threats. And that's a result of the Walkerton disaster that happened due to the manure that like poisoned the groundwater well.
But is that like somebody's farm land well, or does it apply to more?
No, it's
municipal wells?
it's municipal wells.
Municipal wells,
Yeah.
right, okay, thank you.
Any further questions, Mike?
Mr. Chairman, David, I noticed under, on page 12 of the agenda package, under septic inspections, there was one landowner who refused entry. You know, what is the penalty if, someone refuses entry for inspection of a threat?
To be honest, I am not sure. I'm not up to date on what the consequences of refusing entry are.
Well, it is only one, but if it ever kept increasing, it'd be an issue, I guess, for the program.
Yes.
Peter?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. David, I've been trying to wrap my head around this report for the better part of a couple of days now. So these 4 regions comprise the Long Point Region Source Protection Authority, correct?
Sorry, no, the 4 different regions are composed of the Lake Erie Source Protection Region, which is led by GRCA. So there's 4 separate regions that are all part of one big amalgamation.
And the Brant region is lead on this project, correct? I read that somewhere.
The Grand River,
Right,
sorry,
Conservation.
yeah, the Grand River Conservation Authority.
right. So basically Brant County
Uh,
and others.
it's like the whole Grand River, so it's includes Guelph, Cambridge.
Yeah.
It's out of, yeah.
So who actually fills out this report and the supplement? Who actually puts that together?
That would be Stuart Sutherland. He's their technical, one of their technical members on the source protection team at GRCA.
So then in terms of LPRCA staff work on this report, then it's given to you and you go over it, or
Yes,
it's based off of data that you feed back to Grand River CA?
no, it's information that the Grand River Source Protection has received from municipalities, and this is the summary of the reporting
Okay,
from the supplemental form.
thank you.
David, where does this report go to?
It's submitted to the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks.
Oh. Any further questions? Seeing none, I have a motion that the submission of the 2022 Long Point Region Annual Progress Report as supplemental form presented by Dave Boraki.
Yep.
I got it. I need a mover and a seconder. Stuart and Dave. Is there any further discussion about this? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Dave, for your report.
You're welcome.
And that concludes our Long Point Region Source Protection Authority meeting. So now I will adjourn this part of the meeting.